Welcome to the show. I'm trying to think. Okay. I wanted to make sure my vids were in there. This is all coming together last minute here, Ames. It's just you and I today. You
All
look
right.
great with
Thank
your
you.
TDC sweatshirt. We were not theme dressing.
No, we were not.
Both wearing black and white.
In fact, I had something different on and I changed last minute.
Bikini. I know.
Yeah.
This 3G
I
wasn't
heard
here.
3G wasn't going to be here, so
Yeah.
I took it off.
Yeah, I had to convince her to put a bikini top on. She was going to go full nude. And then it was like, save it for the members area like usual. So, yeah, 3G. What was he doing again? He just told us on the member show. He was doing something. So he's not going to be here. He's like out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're out tomorrow because no one's available.
Yeah, I got the game.
Yeah, you got the game and 3G somewhere. I don't know if he's doing the move still. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But you get stuck with me and Ames today and Wednesday, it sounds like. So how was your weekend?
It was good, Mike. Michigan beat Michigan State in college basketball.
Okay.
Does this look crooked?
I would have never.
But now that I pointed it out, it does.
The actual lampshade?
Yeah.
I mean, ever so slightly, maybe, but it could be that you've got the plant lean, you know.
I think it's throwing me off because you made me reverse the camera, Mike.
Well, unreverse it. Yeah, she had a backwards TDC on, and I was like, you're backwards. I think that is the normal.
It feels much more normal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the mic's on the other side now. It's all great. Is that easy to do? Should I do that?
It's just more natural. This is what it is, mirroring the camera.
Yeah, except it's backwards.
Yeah, your wording would be backwards then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Behind you.
I
don't have that. But yeah, the weekend was good. Got Rocky to do some stuff around the house, which was he installed some light fixtures, which I've been wanting him to install.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it was good. How was yours, Mike?
It was okay. It started no football.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's not a good place for me.
I know. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, God, we have so long.
Yeah. And I have so little in my entire existence that I like or want to be involved in on any level. So now it's just, I guess I could pet Cece again.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's a miserable existence. And so at least with football, it's like, I got something to get excited for or pissed about, but even that's taken away. So that kind of sucks. One of the stories we have today involves the SAVE Act, which is about voting stuff. And so I was like, I wonder if my enhanced ID counts, because I got, obviously a new license here. And for the first time in a year, I got it a year ago, I actually looked at my driver's license, which has me at 4'8".
You're lying.
With blue eyes.
4'8".
4'8". Yep.
How does that happen?
Fuck if I know. I mean, I'm 5'9". So even if you did like I hit the 4 instead of the 5.
Yeah.
But then blue eyes, like BLU, blue eyes. Like, I have the brownest eyes of anyone you've ever met. I wish I had ocean blue, gorgeous eyes, but I don't. It's like, dude, if I try to get into a club and someone looks at that and they're like, apparently you're a blue-eyed midget. What the fuck? Who are you?
That's hilarious.
So I don't even know what you're supposed to do with that.
Yeah,
I want to pull it out and show you, but
you've got to go to the DMV or whatever it's called where you're at. Get it fixed.
Let's see if I can show you without giving out details. And I'm probably giving out way too many details there.
See it that well.
Yeah, but it literally says 4'8" blue eyes.
Oh my God.
Okay. I don't know what you do with that information. So I should probably get that addressed at some point. I guess we had the Grammy Awards last night. I wasn't paying any attention to it. I know there's a lot going on in the news regarding it. Dude, it seems to me like I don't know if it was just shock of an election loss that the most narcissistic people in all of society can't handle. And so they kind of went away for a little bit. There were a lot of stories about, hey, celebrities, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares what you think. Um, but they seem to have come back with a vengeance lately. I don't know if you've noticed that.
God, they're miserable.
They're intolerable is what they are.
I mean, you could not pay me a sufficient amount of money to watch an award show. I have zero interest, and I mean zero.
Well, I was scrolling through Twitter today, X, and it was the performance, and it was just the performance of Chad Smith on drums, Duff McKagan on bass, Slash on guitar, and who's the guy? He started as like a rapper, but now he's country, not Kid Rock.
Post Malone.
Post Malone singing lead.
He's good.
Yeah, and they were doing War Pigs. Yeah, they were great. It's fantastic.
He started out in like rock and roll.
Did he? Yeah,
and then he went to rap, and then now he's country.
Yeah, and I've seen interviews with him. He's really good. Like Rogan's done a couple. I think it was Rogan did one with him that I listened to it. I didn't know who he was. Didn't care at all. Like today's music, I just don't care. But he was really a fascinating, neat kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he killed it singing War Pigs last night, and the band crushed it. And Ozzy's family was there, and they it was like the end in memoriam scene, and so Ozzy's kids are there and Sharon, and they're just ripping
God,
it.
They look weird.
Oh my God, they look so fucking weird, dude. It's
so weird.
It's shocking. I don't know when was the last time you were in LA?
God, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Like just walking around the streets. It's so funny. I used to do this all the time, walk around the streets of LA and Sunset Boulevard or whatever. And you'd see the same thing. And it was like, you always had the really hot chicks who hadn't made it yet. Maybe they're fucking slinging coffee or something, but it's like the amount of tens that are just, doing menial tasks as they try to make it. And then you had the rich old biddies and they're dressed to the nines like they're 22 years old, but they're 70. But now we have this weird alien group of 30s, even 20s, 50s-year-old women, and they have this whatever that Sharon Osbourne,
the
Kelly
Ozempic
Osbourne
look.
I look, man. I take shit like that. I don't have like my whole features haven't changed.
Yeah, but you need it.
Right.
I mean, people have just found this way to being super skinny and using this drug to do it, but like it targets your face and it targets all these different areas that if you were just eating normal and working out normally and not just on like a weight loss drug, your body probably wouldn't look like that. It's just like this drastic weight loss change as well. So it's just like you look like this alien with extra skin. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. It's the face. I can't even imagine what all that disrobed looks like. Like,
yeah, like think of Jelly Roll.
But Jelly Roll's worked really hard too.
No, I know, but he still has a shit ton of skin.
Oh, like 70 pounds of it. Like at some point, like he'll have the money to get it removed. And I got on a kick when Ozzy died, and I was watching like old Osbourne's episodes with commentary from them and stuff. And Sharon is really cute in that role. She's not Hollywood beautiful or hot. Sometimes she's a little heavier than she should be, but there's something really cute about her and the way she kind of runs the household. Like there was nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah.
And Kelly was a little pudgy. She's kind of got that square face. She seems like a good person. I like Kelly Osbourne, but it's like you guys have both like turned into this weird look. I don't know, man. It's creepy. And I hate shitting on them, like, but so many women. And you see, my point in the LA thing is when you walk around LA now, you see that everywhere.
Yeah.
Like all those people that was like, that 65-year-old woman's trying way too hard with the bedazzled jeans and shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like this weird alien thing that so many of them have. And I don't know who's telling them this is a good look.
Yeah. And I wonder too, like how their previous like Botox and plastic surgery like affects all of that weight loss. Cause it's like you got that for your previous face.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Like you've already pulled everything taut.
Yeah. Like, you know, you get Botox for the face you have, and then you lose all this weight, and it's like you probably look really weird.
Yeah.
Like my allergies are acting up too.
Yeah. It's 80
like I don't
sunny
feel
here,
sick,
so I don't know.
but I have like stuffed nose like you do.
This just happened literally sitting down here. And I don't know. I'm starting to have a weird feeling. Like I felt like shit most days last week when we ended the show. Like usually the happiest I am on earth outside of like Vagine being involved or something like that. Sure. Like literally the happiest I am is doing the show and then the buzz that kicks in right afterwards. Like it can take a really bad day and make you feel good. Like that was fun. Like, and I've walked out of here like on Thursday, I was like, I got to go lay down. I don't feel good. And, so I've been like, oh, maybe it's diabetes related or something. But I'm like, no, I'm going out of my way to eat a little something before I start the show just to be covered. Today, literally all I had was a protein bar. So I don't know how I'm going to feel. But I'm wondering if there's not something in this room.
Maybe because it's like not a humidifier or something.
Yeah, I don't know. This room's great. I've got this AC unit that's great. But it's happening, and maybe it's my mic. Maybe my mic needs to be clean, and I'm just breathing in shit. I don't know. But I felt great all day. Literally sat down with you. We're 10 minutes in, and all of a sudden it's like my eyes are starting to water and like stuffed up. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know, I did a podcast with Isis over the weekend, or no, before the weekend started. It was like Thursday. And he was telling me he had gone out to dinner, or I think it was dinner with Jay and NFL Bob recently.
Yeah.
And, you know, Isis was like, I think maybe I did a little too much talking. And I was like,
you think? You think?
But I couldn't believe that Sweet Pie is going to be in college.
Oh, yeah.
That is like, that makes me feel so insanely old.
What was she, 3?
Yeah.
She was like 3. She had that lisp like Cindy Brady. Sorry, everybody. Yep. I couldn't figure out how to mute my mic.
It's the microphone.
Yeah. Dude, she was so wee. When we had her over reading those things like, you know, shut up, Airwick, or whatever she was saying. I mean, she was literally like a 3-year-old little girl.
I couldn't even believe that.
There were times when we'd go out and I'd be like, what the fuck is that? She'd be like in cowboy boots and a pink skirt and then like a jean jacket and a fucking bandana. She looked ridiculous. It was like, oh, we let Sweet Pie dress herself today. and so it was just like opposite socks and shoes, one boot and one tennis. It was just like, oh my God. That's the stage she was.
Yeah.
And now she's what? Did you say college?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Crazy.
Insane.
Indeed.
So how was the show with Isis?
It was good. It was very good. Yep. You know, we should all probably take a moment and just show our appreciation to the stolen land that we're doing this show from today.
That's true. Hold on. I think I have that clip. And this was from the Grammys. There were a couple of them I thought we could look at. This is Billie Eilish, right? Talking about the stolen land, man.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Look at these fucking clowns.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
Oh, fuck ice. Clowns, dude.
You know, she has a restraining order against someone who was stalking her and trying to get on her property. And so I would say they might have a good argument. Just play that in court and be like, Your Honor, I'm not illegal on her property. She said so herself.
Yeah.
So she lives on stolen land.
The giant double doors with the lock on the front of her property. Was he trying to get through that?
Yeah, I think.
Or the wall around her property. Which do you know?
Yeah, I think it was probably the wall.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know that he made it quite to the moat.
Right. Right.
But, yeah, it's funny that, I mean, I would think she would open her doors to anybody who would want, because no one's illegal on stolen land. So this is we're all on stolen land, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we should all open our doors, and we have no rights to property or anything. So what the fuck are you doing, you motherfucking hypocrite bitch?
Yeah. She bought her multi-million-dollar home at 17 years old, by the way. So just like the rest of us. I hate them too. By the way, if you want to know how you know these people are completely full of shit and believe none of what they say, they're just in a room of clapping seals for their points. You would never, that's like me getting up and giving you a tour around here and going, this is a stolen Monet. Well, what would you do if you were publicly acknowledging this is stolen property? Well, you would immediately return it to its rightful owners, or you wouldn't just be like, yeah, this is all the artwork in this room here is stolen.
Right.
This is stolen property. Like immediately people go, okay, well, if you're acknowledging that's all stolen property, let's get it back to the rightful owners.
And you're might be facing some charges.
Absolutely. And if these people really believed what they say about Trump, for instance, about, the Gestapo and Nazis and Hitler and dictator, well, what is the first thing that one of those people does? Well, they silence their critics.
Right.
So these people you wouldn't be vocally out there able to say whatever bullshit hits your mind every single day with zero pushback if you really believed that's what was going on.
Right.
That you were living under some, murderous dictatorship that wants to silence its critics. No, all we hear from is the Trump administration's critics every minute of every day.
And they're just such hypocrites too, because it's like the majority of them just live the most insane, fucked up lives that like normal people would never participate in, and do weird shit to get far in life. And then, fuck Harvey Weinstein, and then have the nerve to sit there and talk to us about bullshit. Like, figure your own shit first. Okay. And then come talk to the rest of us.
Yeah. The most privileged in all of society.
Ricky Gervais tweeted out last night, they're still not listening. And then he posted his video of him being like, thank your God, get off the stage.
Thank your agent and fuck off. Yeah. It's unbelievable. DG with a super chat, $49.99. Thank you, sir. I have to one up the lawyer. Yeah. The lawyer jumped in with a $10 super chat. So thank you guys. Setting the table here for a new week. Yeah, I'll say the same thing to Billie Eilish that I tweeted at fucking Bruce Springsteen the other day. If your position is in lockstep with the mainstream media narrative, okay, you're not the revolution.
Right.
You at that point become you are the amplification arm of them. Okay. You're not fighting against anything.
Right.
Like it's very easy. This again goes to their own egos. Like what Billie Eilish doesn't want to be booed off stage. You know how you get booed off stage, how you really be rebellious you go up there and go, fuck you, I voted for Trump, but I wish I could do it again.
Right.
That would be
right.
taking the piss out of those people. That would be standing up to the power in that room that thinks they have the answers to everything. Just getting up and getting a standing ovation for saying something as retarded as fuck ICE.
Yeah, right. Exactly. In a room full of clapping seals. You're so brave. And nobody's watching you except for people who agree with you.
Yeah. And anybody that doesn't agree with you just stays quiet. They know better.
Yeah,
their career might be affected if they say something.
Well, shit, people are dragging Jelly Roll because it's like, oh, if you don't comment, now it's to the point where you don't comment, they know where you stand. If you don't say something, you voted for Donald Trump.
Totally.
Well,
yep. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that to happen more and more. And they've been pushing for that for a couple of years now. This idea that if you don't speak out vocally, it's kind of the anti-racist thing. It's not good enough to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist, which is a way to strong arm you into agreeing with what I say or else. You'll never work in this town again. The smallest signs of that were early on when like Billy Bush was thrown out of Hollywood for laughing in the background during the Trump thing. Like that could be. And so real quick, you saw news people not laugh in the background. Like they knew better than to, like they got in line real quick.
Yeah.
Because the mob could come after them for their beliefs that don't align exactly with how they do. Jelly Rolls, probably they hate him the most. Didn't he thank Jesus multiple times for saving his life? And that's a cardinal sin to the Satanists that run Hollywood. You know, I would think bringing up the Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and doing it vocally from the stage there at the Grammys.
Yeah, it used to be a popular thing, but now they just kind of throw in God at the end. And
I noticed too, black guys can say it. Black guys can absolutely thank God and nobody will say shit. Athletes still do it. Jelly Roll as a white dude, I know he's got all the face tats and all that, but as a white dude, he's got to be careful. He does Rogan's show and he's white and he's talking about Jesus. Like that might get you kicked out of the club.
Yeah, they already know who he voted for.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's funny that they don't go after him that much.
Yeah, he's kind of getting some shit online today.
Is he?
Yeah, because he said something like, I'm not political or whatever when he was asked about it. And then people are like, oh, you're not political, but you testified in front of Congress. Yeah, like,
what did he testify
about like drugs and, his recovery and shit.
Oh, he's got a felony. I don't even know what he did, but Jelly Roll is a felon technically, which means you can't own a firearm.
Right.
You can't even own a hunting firearm.
Yeah.
And so there are a few people that fall in that category that would like to change legislation. Like, hey man, I've stacked 20 years of good behavior. I've done this. Mark Wahlberg tried to do something similar when he, blinded an Asian guy or something. And it was like an Asian hate crime or something.
I remember that.
And so he's like, can I get a gun now? I've been really good and stuff.
Right,
and they're like, no, felon.
Insane.
So, I don't know. What's that?
I was just were you going to talk about more of the Grammys?
Yeah, I was going to do one more. Why? Is this Grammy related where you're going?
No.
Okay. I was going to play Trevor Noah. Again, he is, so Trump has come out today and said he's thinking about taking legal action against Trevor Noah, who took a shot. I think he's trying to be a tough guy here, Trevor Noah, and trying to play off of what Ricky Gervais did. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm never hosting this again. You can't stop me from saying what I feel. That I kind of got that vibe towards the end of this. So here's Trevor Noah.
Of the year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish. Wow. That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland. Which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, I told you it's my last year. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Good one.
You know, I heard part of Bongino's show today.
Oh, how was
he
it?
was
I
back.
wanted to watch it.
He was fired up. He was fired up. Kind of
Yeah.
felt like you were getting yelled at a little bit, but he talked to Trump on it, but one of the things he said was you know, you get criticized by people who don't know what the briefings are that we're sitting through every single day. Like, you can sit there and you can give your bullshit opinion on Trump and Greenland, but you don't know what the fuck the security briefings are that he's getting every single day about
Right.
the importance of Greenland. So you sit there and you criticize, and that's fine. That's part of the job, but he's not stupid. He's not a stupid guy. He knows what he's doing, and he's reading what's happening.
Yeah.
And we don't know that stuff. Which I think I've said before. It's like, there's a lot of stuff out there that I don't know about, and I just have to kind of trust that he's doing the right thing because I voted for him, you know?
Do you like the idea Trump coming out and saying, well, I'll tell you what he said. The Grammy Awards are the worst, virtually unwatchable. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong. I can't speak for Bill. Kind of a shot at Clinton. But I have never been to Epstein Island nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, I have never been accused of being there, not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty. Ask little George Slopadopoulos. And
he did not say Slopadopoulos.
He said Slopadopoulos. Ask them how that all worked out. Also ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You know, this is, I think of, this is all so new, like, what do you do? Like, there's no fucking way on earth a network broadcast would be so reckless historically with airing something like that, letting a host make an allegation like that. So that's what I mean by uncharted territory. Like, we're in a spot where I don't like the idea. I don't think you like the idea, Amy, of every time someone says something defamatory or insulting to Trump, he threatens the lawyers and all that. Like, I don't want to live in that world. But at the same time, no one has accused Trump of being on that island. He's been pretty clear about that. There's been no allegations. In fact, everything I've read from victims of Epstein Island who had any contact with Donald Trump said what a perfect gentleman he was. Like, in a weird way. Yeah. So this idea of this, you want it so bad to be true. The way he slipped in Bill Clinton, these people don't give a shit about the victims. They don't give a shit. It's just get Trump. Yeah. And at some point, and what?
No, go ahead.
No, at some point, like, what do you do? I know defamation laws, and I have a brief rundown of them. They're much harder against public figures. You just kind of take the good and the bad that comes with being a public figure, where other people know who you are and shit gets said about you. So the basic defamation elements, a plaintiff has to show that, one, the defendant made a statement of fact, not just pure opinion. 2, the statement was false. 3, it was communicated to others. And 4, it caused reputational harm. So when it comes to public figures, there's been many. The big cases, New York Times v. Sullivan is a big one. There's other ones that Supreme Court has held that public officials and then public figures, which includes your celebrities, must prove actual malice to win. Actual malice does not mean hatred. It means the speaker knew the statement was false or acted with reckless disregard for whether it was true or false. Courts require proof of actual malice by clear and convincing evidence, which is a higher evidentiary standard than what private plaintiffs usually face. So proving what someone knew or subjectively believed at the time of publication is inherently hard. Usually requires internal emails, notes, like that you plan something, editorial drafts, or testimony showing the defendant had serious doubts about the truth and then published it anyway. If the publisher could show they relied on facially plausible sources, did some checking, or had time pressures, that often undercuts a finding of reckless disregard. So a celebrity has to do more than show they got it wrong. They must show they knew, or essentially they didn't care if it was wrong. Now, I would argue that's what took place there.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of, like, do we need to go to court over all this shit? I don't know. But there's no doubt Trevor Noah should know, CBS should know that that's an untrue statement. More importantly to me, didn't care if they were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of the whole point of these lawsuits. I mean, Donald Trump is not looking to actually go to court and try a defamation case. That's not something that I think he's interested in doing.
Right.
But what it is, because nobody wants to provide discovery and turn over emails and, versions of, scripts that you've done and jokes that you wrote, and what were the different versions of the jokes, and did you tamp the jokes down at all, and were they more direct and then you made them less direct, and is that because you knew that they were going to come off defamatory? So you get into this whole thing that I'm sure CBS wants zero part of, but the point is you settle because they either pay something up front to avoid all that, or to get them to say, it wasn't wrong, it was wrong, but also like to nip it in the bud going forward. And I commend Donald Trump for that, because he has the resources to do it.
Yeah.
And so if I had the resources, there was a time where someone who I knew was very vocally like calling me a Nazi and a white supremacist.
Yeah.
And it crossed my mind like to go after her, but it's like, she's just this ghetto bitch. What is she going to do? She's not going to.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, but it's like, if I were on his level, I would 100% do it. And
where you can send a team out.
They need to act right.
Well, yeah, and it's not like, was your dear leader insulted? No, it's an insult to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's and what I know about television, live television, literally nothing goes out that they're not aware of beforehand. Like, that's the danger of live, kind of without a net there. You notice they dumped fuck ICE. I think they've got a dump button there.
Yeah, it's on a delay.
My guess is you cannot know what someone who wins an award is what their speech is. You can limit their time, you can cut their mic, but you don't really know what bullshit cause they're going to pretend to care about. We got to stop milking cows, man.
Yeah, you pretty much know these days, though.
Right. But with a host, that would have been something where you have 100 writers, 20 comics, all writing that stuff. So that seemed like a joke that he couldn't wait to deliver, and had all of the things in line. That wasn't just like off the top of his head, threw it out there, wasn't thinking. That is something that in a discovery phase, you might go, why did no one at CBS, why did no one down this chain of command before you go live go, wait a minute, you can't just accuse someone. Like, the allegation there is strong with what you're saying. And if you just want people not paying that much attention to just automatically assume Trump was just hanging out at Epstein Island raping babies, like,
I would venture to say that it did go up the chain. And that's what I mean about discovery, because when you get into, well, did they know? And they said it anyway, because you got to see, well, what were the versions of these jokes? Did it start with just mentioning Trump, and then did you throw in Clinton because you wanted to make it seem like it was more believable?
And he's more impartial.
Hey, more impartial.
Sides. Yeah, play both sides.
Was it eventually very direct? And then you've got emails from lawyers that's saying you got to water this down a little bit. You might have some of that stuff. And then it's like, okay, this is right on the line, and we might be able to argue this in court. And then they just run with it. But I think it's just more about like the precedent of like, he's done having you guys lie about him. He's fucking done. He's done, and good for him. He should be.
I agree with that, and we'll know if CBS, takes some ownership, writes a check for his fucking future library or something. But yeah, I think this is unique in these award shows where you can't know what anyone's going to say when they get on a hot mic, but your host, you can. Like that's all going to be scripted. And my guess is there is a paper trail of what's acceptable, probably get a look at what they wanted to say and weren't able to, that censors said, absolutely fucking not. Lawyers looked at and went, no, you cannot make this joke that Trump is somehow a pedophile. I'd be interested in seeing it. And I don't hate going after these fucking people. These people have no fear in behaving any way they want, saying anything they want, just because they hate the guy so much.
It's become a joke in and of itself, but the word allegedly goes a long way.
Yeah.
So all Trevor Noah had to do in that situation would be like, long pause, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
And it would fix everything.
Yeah.
It would fix everything, and it would still fit in the joke, and you could do it, and people would laugh at it. That fixes it.
So did you pay attention to the 3 million Epstein files dump?
It seems like there's
Friday?
Just been so much. I've watched some of it, and I'm just kind of confused about what it all is. And like, it seems like there's a lot of emails, but and I don't know, but some of them are recent, like 2025, and I'm like, I don't understand that. So I don't know.
I look at it as multiple things. When you get the public involved in like a tip line. So
yeah.
That. See, and the problem
that's why I can't take anything with Trump in there seriously. Because
I know.
It's like you just submit this tip that, I got to tell you, if you're out there and you're listening to this and you still are under the impression that Donald Trump is a pedophile, I have news for you. He's not.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not.
It's
it would be
remarkable, but you can see the emails from Epstein to himself or other people, because he sent like a lot of draft emails to himself. Like
it was like his diary almost.
Yeah. So he'd be like, this is kind of what I'm going to send to Bill Gates. And he would send it to himself and then be able to reread it and change whatever.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that. And I think those are very believable. But when you have open investigations and you open it up to the general public, you get all the fucking crazies to come out. And then you go, why around 2020? All these Trump. It's like, if you can't see through that, like you don't want to. You want to believe Trump's eating babies' intestines on a fucking yacht in the Caribbean. Okay, sure. Like, there's no hope for those people as far as I'm concerned.
Donald Trump, this was released under Donald Trump. So Joe Biden didn't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, he released the files. So what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you think he's releasing shit that he's in a way like that? That's just not happening.
Yeah. Well, some of it's pretty wild. I was reading this guy who's going to be blown out at CBS. These people that you can just tell they don't give a fuck. How far can I get? Who cares who I have to step on? Or like, you just know it. And then to come out with I've regretted every day since my relationship. You're like, fuck off, dude.
Probably just was clenching his butthole the whole time. Like, no, please, not my email, not my email. Please.
Are you familiar with Peter Attia? CBS News hired him as their wellness expert.
Sure.
And he appeared like 1,741 times in the Epstein files.
Oh my God.
He called the sex trafficker his friend in hundreds of emails, all of them after Epstein was convicted of sex crimes. Many were crude or overtly sexual. Female genitalia, pussy, I think is what he said. They redacted that, but for our listeners, pussy.
The government redacted it?
Yeah, they or the story did. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a female genitalia. But I believe the actual email said, pussy is indeed low carb.
Ew.
You get it because he's a health wellness expert. Still awaiting results on gluten, though. I was never on his plane. So he wrote a very lengthy statement to his customers and staff over the weekend defending himself.
Sure.
I was never on his plane, never on his island, and never present at any sex parties. I apologize and regret putting myself in a position where emails, some of them embarrassing, tasteless, and indefensible, are now public, and that's on me. I accept that reality and the humiliation that comes with it. Atia may never have visited the island, but he sure fucking wanted to. An email from April 2016 showed the pair comparing the island with Grand Cayman, which Epstein said was very different because there are other people there. I need to visit sometime, Atia said. Another email, the biggest problem with becoming friends with you, the life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul, he wrote in 2015. What I was referring to there, poorly and flippantly, was the discretion commanded by those social and professional circles. The idea that you don't talk about who you meet, the dinners you attend, and the power and influence of the people in those settings. What I wrote in that email reads terribly, and I own that. Yeah, these people all trying to. No.
Yeah, no. That's not what I meant.
It's not what I meant. This doesn't look good though. So he was talking in an email. Let's see. So, another reprehensible episode in Atia's relationship with Epstein was when his son, Ayrton, Ayrton. Sure. Yeah. You named your kid like an asshole, for the record.
Yeah.
Just saying, Mr. Atia. It's when his kid was hospitalized. He wrote in his book, Outlive the Science and Art of Longevity, about the moment his wife Jill rang him on July 11th, 2017, saying their son had stopped breathing. For some reason, he had suddenly stopped breathing and fallen unconscious. His eyes were completely rolled back, and he was lifeless and blue with no heartbeat. When Jill called me from the ambulance, I was in New York in a taxi on 54th Street on my way to dinner. After she finished telling me the story, I just said without a shred of emotion, "Okay, call me when you get to the hospital so I can talk to the doctors in the ICU." His son spent 4 days in the hospital while Jill pleaded with me to come home. I called daily, but I stayed in New York, busy with my important work. That important work was revealed in July 12, 2017 emails released from the Epstein files to include a meeting with Epstein the next day.
Oh, my God.
Can you do before 10 a.m. tomorrow? Epstein asked. He replied, sure, I can come earlier. Also, if you have a hard stop at 10, let me know. Yeah. So... anyways, I never knew about his crimes or anything about him. Shortly after we met, I asked him directly about his 2008 conviction. He characterized it as prostitution. I was incredibly naive to believe him. I mistook his social acceptance in the eyes of credible people I saw him with for acceptability. To be clear, I never witnessed illegal behavior and never saw anyone who appeared underage in his presence. I didn't learn the truth until 2018 Miami Herald article, which repulsed and nauseated me. I don't believe you, sir. And
Right.
and what does that matter anyways? What if you did know about that other stuff? We saw how much it mattered to you when your fucking kid was almost dead. You didn't
Right.
give a shit about your kid.
Right.
A stupid potential meeting with Jeff Epstein was more important to you
Yeah.
than your own kid in the hospital for 4 days. So, yeah, I don't think I just random people from around the world that were in trouble at the hands of Epstein. I don't think you'd give a shit about them either.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
It's wild.
What were you going to say, Ames?
I was going to say that, right before we went live, there was a verdict in that au pair trial. That dude that married
Was
or
the au pair.
banging the au pair, went onto a fetish website and catfished some guy as his wife, pretending like she wanted this rape fantasy. So this guy came over, pretended to rape her, and then
I feel bad for him. He's the only one in the story I feel bad for.
The hero husband comes in and he took the stand, and he was such a fucking dork. I mean, such a dork.
Were you able to watch it? You were.
Yeah, you were able to watch it. And it was just like, you know, and the way he was just explaining things, like he says how he comes back into the house and he just thought his wife was having an affair and he heard skin slapping and he thought that it sounded like pleasurable, but then something changed and it sounded like it wasn't pleasurable anymore. And so, he ran up the stairs and drew his service weapon because, he's a big bad IRS agent.
Oh.
And so anyway, so obviously he killed the guy, he stabbed his wife. And the jury found him guilty, obviously.
Oh, shocker. See, the problem is he'll probably only get 15 years.
No, it's life without parole, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's 2 murders.
Yeah, I mean that's as first degree as you're going to get, as premeditated as you get. I mean,
well, what's crazy
set up a
though,
fake rape of his wife.
Yeah, what's crazy though is the au pair who was in on it and who actually is the one who put the final bullet into Joe Ryan, the guy. Because he was still alive. He was shot in the chest by the dude. The au pair put the final bullet into his head and killed him. But they offered her, originally, they had offered her a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor.
And she didn't take it?
She still would not turn on him.
Wow.
But her attorneys were being paid for by him and his mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why.
So then once she got her own attorneys, they were like, because they had arrested the woman. Yeah, she was in jail. And he wasn't. And she was being offered deals and I don't think getting great advice, and then got a new attorney, and the attorney was like, ma'am. So they ended up working out a deal where she could just get time served, but it's like it's something very low. Like she's only going to serve a year or 2, and then she's shipped off to Brazil to go home.
Well, I like the shipped off to Brazil part.
Right.
But like, yeah, I'm tired of these. Like, I was a victim too of him.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Fuck all the way.
I don't buy any of that. Oh, I'm just an innocent damsel who couldn't do it. Like, there's so many of these.
That was like the fucking woman that was the accomplice in my niece's kidnapping. The guy dies, he kills himself in jail. And so then all of a sudden it's like, well, I was the one that I was victimized. I was abused by him and I didn't know what to do. And it's like, okay, so you know how dangerous he is. You say so yourself. You say he was dragging you by your hair earlier in the day and you just let him take this 16-year-old and you don't say anything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool story.
It's crazy. Yeah. And it usually works too.
It did work.
Yeah.
It did work.
Absurd. Hey, going back to the Epstein files release, and as people will be going through this for months and months, and I'm assuming the only thing most people are doing is keyword searching.
Yeah.
Like, show me every time Trump's name's mentioned. Like, that's all they care about. I don't believe for a second that the most narcissistic people that I've ever seen actually give a shit about the victims at all. Because you would have given a shit about them 5 years ago and you didn't.
Right.
I don't remember all this outrage and the Jimmy Kimmels of the world and, all those people caring about these poor victims for 20 years. They certainly care a lot now. But these ones, do you think there's any possibility? There's a lot of things, like, I don't know, part of me goes, and it's so conspiratorial, like the Pizzagate stuff.
Right.
One of the things that came out in the Pizzagate, like whether you wanted to go to Comet Pizza and bring a gun in and break up a ring. Yeah. Okay. It makes it easy to write off, but there were some of those emails. I don't know how much you've looked at them, but some of those John Podesta emails.
Yeah. They're very weird.
They're fucking creepy weird.
Because think of how you conduct your life. Just think of your life. And I mean, even mine in a business setting, I've never why are you emailing like that?
Yeah. They're creepy. And if you've ever done anything nefarious, okay, you like to get some blow on the weekends, right? You and your boys are going out. You don't text to your friend, hey, do you know anyone who can get you some good cocaine for this weekend? Like,
yeah.
That's not the way you email or text. it's like, there's all kinds of stupid codes, people come up with to get the point across, wink, wink, to their friends. Nobody goes, I'm looking for a between 5 and 8-year-old boy to molest and possibly eat this weekend. Like nobody would do that. So you're left with these weird emails that are confirmed to be John Podesta's emails. I'm sorry. He's the one with the decoder ring on his fucking finger talking about aliens and shit. Yeah. He was also the, running Hillary Clinton's campaign. And these came out as from the, how did we get those emails? It was, what's his name? Julian Assange.
Yeah.
Got a hold of those emails. And there's all kinds of references to pizza parties and toppings. They're just not the way they look to me like coded ways people would be looking for shit they wouldn't want you to know they're looking for.
Right.
And a lot of them for supposedly very powerful, wealthy, elite level business people, political people. Like, why would you'd be like, hey, my kid's having a birthday this weekend. He wants a pizza party. Send a mass email out and invite people. Like,
yeah.
It wouldn't be like John's writing, like, oh, it's gonna be pizza at my place.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, it's just not how you talk in real life. You know what I mean? Like hey, coming over to my house for dinner, might get pizza, whatever. Like, it's not like,
don't bring anything, I'll order pizza.
Right. It's not this weird coded language.
So-and-so wants black olive, wink, wink. And then you look at the guide for what the code words are, underground pedophile world, and I'm not aware of this. I don't know. Maybe it's all a ruse to make people like you and I think we're onto something. But there's something about it you go, that makes a lot of sense, what all these code words are. And when you plug them into these various emails, they all seem to fucking still work with what appears to be, I've long thought, I don't know what's going on in Hollywood or in upper echelons of elites. How much truth is buried in these. I'm reading this story, human sacrifice and torture at Frogmore Cottage, the most ridiculous, discredited claims made to FBI tip lines and released in the Epstein files. So 180,000 pages, 2,000 videos posted publicly were several unsubstantiated tip-offs officials received via the National Threat Operation Center tip line. So that's all. If you hate Donald Trump, that's all you need. Oh, someone called in a tip. Well, that's fact. So it was a number anybody could contact to report stuff. So back in the 90s, one from 2020 alleges Prince Andrew, the former Duke of York, was an accessory to the death of one of Epstein's victims. Back in the 90s, Ghislaine recruited a girl for a modeling career. An email from a man called Brian Miller with a subject, Ghislaine Maxwell. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a sex slave for torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and me to force her murder. I need to get a passport to identify her. I will need someone to contact the passport office to get an expedited passport. Another accuses Epstein and Bill Clinton of raping him on a yacht before his feet were cut in a ritualistic sacrifice. Many of these tip-offs were included in the files, appear to be unsubstantiated allegations, blah, blah, blah. So this male says he was raped by Epstein and Clinton on a yacht, made his claims to an FBI phone call in 2019. The rapes occurred in 2000 on a yacht trip, also attended by Trump and Melania. And FBI noted that Trump didn't even marry her for 5 years later. He claimed he was raped while in a heavy drug-induced state and that the incidents became repressed memories. Since recovered from a therapist, of course. He claimed he was the victim of a ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar that left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed. He also alleged he was raped by George Bush I. Now, I'm sure a lot of this is bullshit, and I would have completely dismissed it if not for the stories of George Bush demanding to be there for when Junior was at Yale and some practice to get into the fucking all boys club at Yale. You had to jack off in front of the former members of the club, whatever the Skull and Crossbones club they were in. And so he demanded to be there for George. Herbert Walker wanted to be there to watch George, our second president there, jack off. And it was like, oh,
nice.
Yeah. So, and then it reminded a lot of people of this chick.
I mean, are you leaving someone alive if you're...
So, do you remember this video from 2020? So this is Gabriela Rico Jimenez. She was a Mexican woman model, and she storms out of this hotel and is in full panic. They ate humans. She's screaming here. It's in Spanish. We'll do our best to translate. I'll turn the volume down. But in the video, she's a 21-year-old Mexican model seen outside the Fiesta Inn in Monterrey, Mexico, August 3rd, 2009. Sorry, I said 2020, 2009. She'd attended a private party at the hotel, an elite modeling event that brought together prominent businessmen, politicians, and individuals whose names appeared in the Epstein files. The young woman began screaming that they were eating children. She was then arrested, disappeared without a trace. No one's seen her since. So here she is. They ate humans. I wasn't aware of anything. I mean, about the murders, yes. But they had eaten humans. Humans! They smell like human flesh. Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that there's some weird shit that goes on out there.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to those circles, it gets to a point where I think that the thought is we need to have something on you so you stay in line type of thing, you know? And so you make them do the worst of the worst and participate in these bizarre rituals, and then you stay in line and you're never gonna...
Yeah. Why would you ever need to watch your son jack off to be part of the cool boys club at Yale?
Yeah, I got to tell you, that was not part of my sorority initiation.
Right.
And my mom was a legacy. I was a legacy. My mom was in the sorority and still didn't have to do that.
No, she didn't. She didn't have to watch you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
it's weird, man.
It's bizarre.
Do you think the Giants have to cut ties with, or the NFL has to demand that Steve Tisch relinquish the team?
What? I don't know. I know his name was in there, but I don't know to what extent.
His name's in there 440 times. and it just doesn't, he's corresponding. Now, these are the ones that you go, yeah, that's real. That's his email and Jeff's email, and they're corresponding back and forth. This isn't like a tip line thing. And, you know, it sounds like he's getting pussy from this guy. He's like Jeff's setting him up on dates, you know. Oh yeah, the chick, she was really worried about the age difference, and Jeff's like, take it slow, it'll be fine. That kind of stuff. But he's a multi-billionaire. He produced, you know, he was the producer on films. Let's see, Forrest Gump.
Great movie.
Yep. Risky Business, another great movie. He was the producer of those, now owns the Giants. And there's nothing in here like, oh yeah, I want him underage, really young, stuff like that. It's like, he's an old fucking man trying to get hot chicks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Do we have to ruin everybody's life who associated with Jeffrey Epstein because of who Jeffrey Epstein was? Like, adults can do adult things. Adults can, if the woman is there voluntarily, people pay for that shit. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's like you're not forcing it and they can't leave, and you know you're holding their job over their head or their children or something. Like, if it's that, then I think we need to look at it. But just an old dude using a guy who knows a bunch of chicks to like get pussy. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, we've seen it forever. all of a sudden there's some 90-year-old man with a 23-year-old fucking knockout. You're like, yeah, okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah,
like
do
we
you
all
think that you just
know.
met naturally, like at the gym? No.
Yeah, we all know what the deal is.
And when you're that rich and that powerful, you want someone who's not out there like, "Oh my god, guess who I fucked last night?"
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep. Yeah, you notice that too. That's funny you say that, because one of the things is like you see words like discreet.
Discreet, right.
Is she trustworthy?
Right.
So trustworthy could mean a lot of things. She's going to watch us murder a bunch of people and not say anything, or she's not going to talk to Page Six.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
she's not going to talk about the fact that I want a ball gag in my mouth and a dildo in my ass.
Exactly. So I don't know if what society wants. So if someone's been convicted of something heinous, and if you look at the conviction of Jeffrey Epstein, I think it was a prostitution charge. I don't, not that whatever it was.
Well, it was bullshit. It was a huge, he got a big fat deal.
Right. But does that mean nobody can correspond with that guy again?
Well, right. Exactly.
Like, so what are we saying? Like, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, but does that mean that anybody that's corresponding with Jeffrey Epstein, who would have significant reach as far as those circles, are you not allowed? Oh, I can't talk to him. Like, it sounds like, as far as I can tell, Trump is the only one that didn't.
Yeah.
Of all the elites, all the celebrities, all the politicians that are mentioned, talked about, I think Donald Trump has talked about, like, yeah, I saw him on TV last night. He's so full of shit. Like that kind of thing.
Right.
It sounds like there's a lot of truth behind someone on his staff at Mar-a-Lago came to him in 2003 and said, one of these girls, and was apparently rude and blah, 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 whatever. And Trump said, that's it, get him out of here, and disassociated with him, was done with Jeff Epstein. I haven't seen anything since that ties him from that date until today to Jeff Epstein. Maybe I'm wrong. Certainly willing to look for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I just think we'd know about it by now. Yeah. I don't think we'd be getting it in this random release. They tried everything. Okay, if they had info that Trump was on that island and he was doing shit with underage girls, trust me, we'd know about it.
Yeah, we 100% would. Have you followed it all? I had this for us a week ago and I never got to it, that Nasra Ahmed, Somali idiot in Minneapolis with the bandage on her head.
Oh, the bananas and rice or whatever.
Dude, that one too. But her story, in fact, I can play you a couple clips.
Yeah, she's the one that got arrested, right?
Yeah, she was arrested. Of course they were. Well, I'll let her tell you, because this is totally believable.
These two men, and I was waiting for these two men to hold the door for me, and I told them, hey, can you hold the door for me? And I walked.
Do you love how they're always in the position of just, hey, I was just waving and smiling at people on the street. That's all I did. And then they just, beat me,
Yeah.
Like, none of this is how this works. And these people are too fucking dumb to know that the more ridiculous their story, the more unbelievable it is. It's like the other Somali pirates who, when we first learned about the Leering Center, all of a sudden they got robbed the next day, and all of their paperwork that had all of the information relevant to all of their business doings was stolen. Like, I don't know how fucking dumb you think we are, sir, but that's the weakest excuse I've ever heard. So here's Nasra.
Right in the middle, and when I was in the middle, ICE came. They came out of their cars. They asked me to see my ID, and while they were asking me to see the ID, they just decided it was nice to be racist and say really nasty things to me. Sure. And that man, he called me the N-word, and he called me that, and then he arrested me. They arrested me. It was multiple people. They used a lot of force to arrest me. I actually got
very, very injured
scab that was healing while I was in jail. but they pushed me hard. They used a lot of violence. My body still hurts. I got a concussion. It's really hard for me to speak because of that concussion. They were just using a lot of force to arrest me, and I was screaming. I was crying. I was so scared. I've never been arrested in my life.
Yeah, you get the point. Do you believe any of that?
I got to tell you, if it was really hard for you to talk because you had a concussion, you wouldn't be up there running your fucking mouth.
This is the other one that people loved. Where is it? Oh, please tell me. Yeah. Bananas and rice.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. People don't really see people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
No, we're not
going to concussion talking.
Yeah. Well, now, and I've seen the other video. I should have pulled that too, of her spitting on the ICE agent, screaming at him. So yeah, she also threw an egg at one immigration officer, spit in another's face, accused of approaching officers during an operation they were conducting, shouting obscenities at them. One officer saw Ahmed raise her arm and make a throwing motion, later realizing she'd thrown an egg that struck another agent's leg. So, and she also screamed, "I have zero regrets." So,
well, did you hear the news of that Alex Preddy? He attacked some immigrants, Mike.
What? Seriously?
Well, the two cops that took him down, do you know their names?
Oh no, are they immigrants?
Let me tell you the names.
The two that shot him?
Yep.
So you can't play the white man card here?
Oh, no.
Oh, that stinks.
No. The two federal immigration agents who fired on Minneapolis protester Alex Preddy are identified as Border Patrol agents Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez.
Oh, wow. Well, that stinks for the narrative.
I don't know why Alex Preddy felt like he had to attack immigrants, because immigrants make this country great.
Ugh. What? Oh, that sucks for the narrative. Just sucks, doesn't it? Oh, it sucks. Oh, they were so hoping for a fucking Bill Johnson and a Steve Jones. Oh, they wanted it so bad. They did not want a Gutierrez in there.
No, or a Raimundo. I'm surprised they didn't just change it to Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond. Yeah,
exactly. You gotta drop the O.
Yeah. Oh, once you get that Ramondo in there, oh, it's not going to be a Ray Wilkins. Oh, that just stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad. Did you see Ben Cohen, famous Ben and Jerry's Ben Cohen?
I hate.
Have you seen his
Ben and Jerry's?
Dude, he is such a fucking clown. Like, it is so and so. How did they not see it? He's come out with a new ice cream that, invoking Preddy and Ray Good, these heroes, blah, blah, blah. And the amount of people who immediately post like, so when are we getting the ice cream for the 1,000 fucking murdered American women who are out for a jog at the hands of an illegal migrant who came to this country? You lay it on thick like, oh my God, we're making an ice cream for... Just so tired of these people.
Yeah.
So tired.
Hey, did you see that Savannah Guthrie's mom story?
Yeah. Is there an update since
just
this
that it says that she was likely abducted from her Arizona home as she slept?
What is that about? She made it 84 years of sound mind.
And you get abducted while you sleep?
That I wonder if that's like Savannah Guthrie related.
Yeah, that's like
You know what I
that
mean?
seems like ransom to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's in where was it in Arizona? I have it outside of Tucson. I don't even know
Okay.
how far that is from me. Not that far, but yeah, local authorities called off a search and rescue mission this morning and are now investigating Nancy's house as a crime scene. We do, in fact, have a crime scene. We do, in fact, have a crime. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano said evidence gathered suggests Nancy did not leave on her own. They're reviewing camera footage at her house. We make a plea to anyone who knows anything, seen something, blah, blah, blah. They want the community to check their, ring cams and all that kind of stuff.
There must be blood.
There's got to be blood. They also have her cell phone, authorities. Like, who leaves the house on their own without their phone? Her family, including Savannah, are in Arizona, fully cooperating. I thought this is kind of a cheap shot by the sheriff's department. They added Nancy's is not in good physical health, but has no cognitive issues. She's very alert, very sound mind. But yeah, kidnapped. Can you imagine anything more horrifying than being kidnapped out of your bedroom?
Yes. Kidnapped from a gas station. But no, yes. That would be horrifying.
Dude, you could never lay down and sleep again.
I know.
From a gas station sucks.
Yeah.
Being kidnapped in general, I'm against. It stinks on all levels.
Yeah.
But maybe you never go to a gas station again.
Right.
Your bedroom?
I know.
Like, did you end up watching the Elizabeth Smart documentary?
No, I haven't. I started, I was going to, and then I was just like, I don't know. I just couldn't.
You have to.
You
have to. Because in there's another family member where the same thing happened. Another young, because they're Mormon. There's a lot of kids and a lot of stuff. There's another family member that lived a mile away or something. Their house was like, the screen was cut the same way. They had chairs at the window to get in. They were trying to, these fucking weirdos, this weirdo that kidnapped Elizabeth Smart was trying to grab another one to add to his harem from the same family.
Jeez.
Like, it's insane.
That's crazy. Although I did go down a deep rabbit hole over the week. Man, I was mesmerized by these few documentaries I watched, Mike.
What'd you watch?
I mean, it was like, I was like this on the couch. I was like,
what were you watching?
It was all about Mennonite and like Amish community. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, I watched this documentary of this family, this Mennonite family that lived currently in Belize, and it was like getting hard to live in Belize. And so they bought this property in the Amazon jungle in Peru, probably going to run into the uncontacted tribes and be someone's dinner. But they bought this land in Peru, and they're going out there with these other Mennonites, and they're literally building their spot. They're building their community in the middle of the Amazon jungle from scratch. So you see, they have an auction. They sell off all their stuff in their Belize community. So after they sold the house and all of their belongings, he had like 20 grand. And him and his whole family of like 20 people, never been on a plane before. They fly from Belize to Peru, and it's like this, they have to take this like 2-day boat ride, this hour-long ride through the jungle just to get to this land that they bought. And these Mennonites have like separated it up into like these plots, like, okay, this family goes here and this family goes here. And they have nothing. I mean, they have to build their school and they have to build houses, but it's like they get that shit up like that. Like because they don't need anything. And it's just the craziest. You just think like, oh my God, we're so privileged and lucky. But also it's interesting because like the Amish communities, and I actually think RFK Jr. just did a talk about this. They don't have autism.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they'll say they don't screen them either. That's why you don't see the numbers. I'm sure there's huge numbers of autistic fucking Amish. No one's ever met them, but
RFK. So I watched this Amish kid on Theo Von's podcast, and because he's doing his Rumspringa or something where like you can like go out and
off.
Yeah. So he's on Theo Von's podcast, and he asked him like, "Do you guys have autism?" And he's like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
He had no idea.
Yeah.
And so RFK Jr., I saw he was saying like they did this study of the Amish community for autism, and they found 3 kids that had autism, and all of them were adopted into the Amish community after they already had their vaccines.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me at all.
And I also found it interesting that the Amish, once you get baptized as an adult and you like commit to the Amish community, you're exempt from paying into Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security because they don't like believe in that. And so they just have like a community approach. And so they're like, yeah, so we have, they worked out with the government that they don't have to pay into those things. Obviously, they don't get the benefit of it, but they're like, if someone's sick, everyone just comes together and pays for it. Or if someone's house burns down, we'll have it built up again in a day and a half.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just community,
Yeah. It works when you have a community. I think the number is 100.
Okay.
I think when you get bigger than 100 people, we become like we are, where you get
someone's bad and
nefariousness. But if you just have like 25, 50 people in your community, you can keep your arms around it and truly just look out for each other.
Yeah.
But I think it's 100 or 150 people or something like that it gets, you get into where we are.
I mean, the older I get, the better it sounds to like just live on a huge property, a huge commune with like, 10 of your closest friends and their families and just like be by each other and not have to worry about anyone else.
No, that's the dream when we're, when it's like when this all goes to hell in a handbasket, the Cracks have one job, the Crack brothers. It's getting down here. Yeah. We'll find a way to hook up with you and the feds. But dude, we can make a go at it with the skills that Trav and his agent wife have, and the Crack brothers with their experience, and us not bringing a whole lot to the table, but it's more fun to have us than not have us.
Totally.
Dude, can you imagine like 30, 40 of us together?
I know, it'd be so fun.
Like that would be so fun.
You just like don't have to worry about other people. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Make it work. Before we get out of here, I mentioned my license, which claims that I'm 4'8" and blue-eyed. So I don't know what I gotta figure that out. So I was researching a little bit the SAVE Act. And I know it's worth paying attention to because Chuck Schumer's going out of his mind.
Okay.
This cannot stand. We will shut everything down. They will shut everything down. He said, amid this partial government shutdown, I couldn't care less. Shut it all down. For all I care. Oh my God, we can't get into our national park. Fuck off. I don't care. You people are worthless on society. All of you. Shut it down if you want. So this would continue. Oh, he's going to continue to shut it down. If a major voter registration bill known as the SAVE Act is included in government spending legislature. So Anna Paulina Luna, rep from Florida, is leading an effort to have the measure added to the package. The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, SAVE Act, would require states to obtain documentary proof of U.S. citizenship and identify to register to vote, a requirement already in place in a small number of states. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The SAVE Act would impose Jim Crow laws to the entire country, and it's dead on arrival in the Senate, Schumer said. It's a poison pill that will kill any legislation it's attached to. If House Republicans add the SAVE Act to the bipartisan appropriations package, it will lead to another prolonged Trump government shutdown. Well, you're the one that's shutting it down, dickhead.
Right.
Let's be clear. The SAVE Act is not about securing our elections. It's about suppressing votes. That bullshit argument again.
Mm-hmm.
So the SAVE Act's goal is to require documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. So I asked AI, is there some hidden agenda to disenfranchise people with this? Well, there is evidence that the practical effect of the SAVE Act would be to block many eligible citizens from registering or re-registering, especially those without easy access to passports or birth certificates. So I don't, like, this is a weird one to me because I was like, well, are you going to try to say that all these people can't figure out how to get a driver's license? Well, a driver's license isn't the kind of proof they're talking about to vote, to secure. They're talking about passports. Like, you need to prove you're an American citizen to get to qualify to vote. And honestly, at this point, I think it's a smart idea.
I mean, it's such a no-brainer. And here's the thing. If you can't fucking figure it out, I don't know that you should vote.
Mm-hmm. The argument would be, and I know some people like this, parents are shitbags. There was a house fire. All documents were gone. You're an American citizen. You don't have your birth certificate. I don't even know how many people, like, my parents were pretty responsible. You know, they kept everything, and they gave me my birth certificate when I was, I don't know how old. Like, it wouldn't be beyond the pale that there's a lot of people, probably to the tune of millions, that have no idea where their birth certificate is, their social security card. There's probably millions of people that have never gotten a passport. I didn't get a passport for decades. I was well into my 30s when I got a passport to go to Mexico. You know, we didn't have to have one to go to Canada. So I guess there's a lot of people, but to me, this is the fallout when you have an administration that this is not an accident. They didn't do a very good job. No, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They literally opened the door to your country and bum rushed it from 150 plus countries and let anybody from anywhere, mostly the third world, just traipse into your country and let them loose on the American people. When you look at California, giving CDL licenses, driver's license to people who can't speak the language, can't possibly read the signage on our highways. Those videos are all over the internet. You can watch cop video after cop video of them pulling over guys. They actually have a booklet that cops will pull out with some guy who has no fucking idea how to speak the language, yet he's driving an 18-wheeler in this country. And it'll just be pictures of signs: stop sign, yield sign, no turn on red signs, no U-turn signs, and go, what does this mean? And they're like, no comprende. Like, they have no fucking idea. So you're giving IDs to all these people. They're getting driver's license. So yeah, a driver's license is not enough, unfortunately.
Right.
So I didn't create this problem. This is unheard of that it would even be discussed that a bunch of third world fucking shitbags all of a sudden have IDs in America.
Right.
Like, that's not something that ever would have happened. So now we're stuck dealing with that reality.
Right.
So if we need to go to some extreme measure, and the fact that it pisses off the Democrats this much, it tells me you're sniffing around the bullseye.
Right.
About what the real problem is.
Yeah. A problem they created, by the way.
100%. You created a problem that now needs to be addressed. And what do? That was so egregious what happened over the last 5 years that this is what we're going to have to do. So I'm assuming that most competent people can figure out if this bill gets in there, because Trump would sign that.
Yeah.
This is, correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, I believe this is one of those 80-20 issues that most Americans just like, no, why would you want a wide open border? That's an 80-20 issue.
Yeah,
Democrats and Republicans. It's also like that with voting. Having an ID is not that big a deal. You remember how pissy they were with demanding an ID?
Right.
This is going to make it way worse for those people. But I don't know. My thought was the same as yours. Like, dude, you can't figure this out, then you shouldn't be voting anyways.
Yeah, you should
Sorry.
have no say over what I do if you can't figure out how to get proper documentation to vote. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's a reason we don't let kids vote too.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like the argument that Chuck Schumer is making, like, leave the bank vault open at all times as to not disenfranchise the employee that forgot the combination.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, well, no, that's not how we do it.
Right.
You know, if that's going to disenfranchise that employee, then he's going to have to fucking learn to remember the combination to the vault. We don't just leave it open.
Yeah.
That seems like a way bigger issue.
Right.
So anyway, can you hear my dogs going crazy?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
What?
Graham just showed up.
Oh, they're all excited.
And I need to get out there and see she hasn't seen, well, she saw Cece at Christmas, so it hasn't been that long, but
all right. Well, have fun. And we will not be here tomorrow, but we'll be back Wednesday.
We'll be back Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the couple people that super chatted. We appreciate that. DG and Dave Helm, I think that was the lawyer one. So have a great rest of the day. Go watch the 49ers documentary on AMC. 4-parter. The other 2 parts dropped tonight. First 2 parts were fabulous.
Okay.
I know you guys are all interested in that. So go check that out. And we'll see you all on Wednesday.
All right.